Hi everyone, and welcome back again to this journey that I am going through. Thank you for watching my first video. If you did, I appreciate that, and thank you for the support and love you guys have shown me through that. Today, I think I'm going to do something a tiny bit different. It will still be covering, domestic violence and PTSD and things that I have faced on my journey through this process. Um, I just want to go over a few things before I start. If at any time you're uncomfortable, you're always allowed to turn the video off. Again, my video can be triggering for some, and today I will be going into some graphic details that might cause some major triggers, so just a fair warning before we do get into things, okay guys? Again, I am not a licensed therapist. I just am telling you what I've gone through and my perspective and what I do to face the things that I have gone through, okay? So today I'm going to talk about some things I found while deep cleaning my apartment. I know some of us just get in the mood and we need to just clean everything up before winter gets here, so I got into that mood, and so I've been doing that. So the things I found are two different stories, okay? So we'll kind of dive into a little bit of both if I have time. But we're going to start off with the first one, okay guys? It is my phone that I got back from the police. I have the bag right here. This looks like a burrito. I know it's not. I promise. Please don't make that joke. I get it. It's in tinfoil. So this phone I had to give to the police because of an investigation that happened. So here's the first layer and the second layer we've got going on. There's my old phone in there. Okay, guys. The police gave me this phone covered in tinfoil because at the time my ex was tracking this phone. It's still covered in tinfoil, okay? That phone had evidence on it of messages being sent to me still after I had filed a protection order, and it also had evidence of certain aspects of our life together on this phone, and they kept it for 2 years as evidence. That's how long they had this phone. Okay, I didn't get it back until 2 years later. I don't know if that's the normal amount of time for something like this, but I have it back. I don't know what to do with it other than, a few years ago I pulled some of the old pictures of my dog and my cat off of there and some pictures of myself, so I could have at least some of the happy memories from that time of my life, okay? Not everything you go through with your abuser can be bad. Sometimes there's some good thrown in that mess of awful, okay? And that's what makes it difficult to leave sometimes, right? It's because you think like, hey, there's a good person still in there because they did this that day or they did this the other day. Even though they're not treating me properly today, it might get better. That's when we have to kind of look at this from the point of view, like, hopefully before we get too involved with a person, like, hey, is the positives outweighing the negatives? Is this something that I'm okay with being involved in? And if I'm not, even though I care about this person, I need to leave because I need to take care of myself and my beliefs. This was a hard one for me to learn, guys, okay? It was one of the things I had to learn after I got out of this relationship and move forward with my life and through therapy and this process. But it's always good to know that, once you set healthy boundaries and you stick to them, you can get yourself out of a relationship that could turn sour really fast once you do start going into a new relationship after the abuse, if you even want to do that. Again, sometimes it takes a long time to want to even get outside and process all of that, step by steps, guys. Okay, they don't have to be big steps right away. Do the little steps first. Take care of yourself. Make sure you get some sleep. Make sure you get some food, and then seek some therapy because you went through a lot and you need a safe place to express that. And if your therapist isn't vibing well with you, there's a lot more therapists out there. You can always get a different one, okay? So remember, if your first therapist isn't good for you, try a second one. If that one doesn't work, try a third one. There's lots of them out there. Um, that's my advice on that, okay? And then once you find one you like, stick with that person and make sure you set goals for yourself, um, to move forward and heal, and stick to your goals. Like, hold yourself responsible for your well being, okay, guys? I know it's not easy, but it's something that if you do that, you can move forward and enjoy life a lot more. Okay. You don't always have to be stuck feeling scared. And that's a key thing, is like fear can keep you trapped. You can move past the fear and have a life you can enjoy again, okay? It just takes a lot sometimes, but it's worth it. Okay, so that's the first item I wanted to show you guys that I found. My phone covered in tinfoil. And then the second item I want to show you, this is where things get a lot more graphic. So if it makes you uncomfortable, you can stop the video now, or you can listen, okay? So I have this zippy bag with 2 bracelets in it, okay? These belong to the person that I left. They were found by me in my vehicle that got impounded because I had to leave my vehicle behind because it had broken down the night I left. Okay, and I found these inside the vehicle along with what I believe was a lot of blood smeared everywhere and feces smeared everywhere. Now, given I'm only human, so it might have not been those things. It could have been something else, but this is what it looked like to me and what it looked like to a handful of other people that looked at my vehicle as well. So I found those bracelets in there, and my vehicle on the inside was just smeared all over with the blood and feces, and it took quite a long time for me to get that cleaned out. I used a steam cleaner, so it was sanitary by the time I was done, and I got all the stains off and cleaned every inch of the inside of that vehicle. And so while I was cleaning that vehicle, on one of those windows in the vehicle, the back one, it said, "I heart mom." And I believe this was written by that person. I don't know what they used to write that on the window. But I had a really hard time with this because, I wasn't able to bring my dog with me, and when I went back to get her, once I found a stable place so I could get her, and that was only a few days, she was not there anymore, and I don't know what happened to her. I was told some very graphic things by this person, before I turned that phone in to the police, and I don't know if I should believe what that person told me or not, because I know they were just trying to hurt me and get me to go back to them. So I really don't know what happened to my dog. Okay? All I know is my vehicle looked like it was smeared in blood and feces, and that my puppy dog was my baby. So I don't know what happened. Okay, guys, you can come to your own conclusions. I just know that I miss her. And it's taken me a long time to get over this and process this. And I had to have someone else in my family and friends circle clean off that window because it was too difficult for me to handle emotionally at that time. And so they did that for me, and thankfully, I had a lot of support and help with cleaning that vehicle and processing those emotions as they were hitting me in the face constantly. So, yeah, we got the vehicle cleaned up and we sold it for parts. So, because it was no longer running. So that was taken care of, and I had a good support network. I still do. That helped me process those emotions, and they were intense, guys. Okay, so it's important to have people around you that you can trust and process emotions with, and if not, it's important to make sure you also have a therapist or a peer support group that you can process these things with, because it helps to talk about it, it helps to feel it, and it helps to move forward, even if it's at a slower pace, because that took me a long time to get over, and it took many hours of therapy for me to be able to process and be okay. Well, not technically be okay, but be able to move forward from that, because it's still painful because I don't know what happened, and I love my puppy dog so much. Okay, she was so sweet to me, and so I just had to do a lot of processing, and I realized it really wasn't my fault. I was trying to make sure she had a place to stay and a good home, and she had food, and sometimes I go back and have those regrets, like I should have just took her with me right away, but the police were standing right there, and this person said that they didn't mind that my puppy was there for a few more days, and that she would be there when I got back in front of the cops, and she wasn't. And unfortunately, they lost the paperwork for that interaction, or it was never documented. So I have no proof that this is what was said or what was agreed upon, even though there was a third person that was an officer there. Okay? And this was a long time ago, so I don't even know if that person still works for that facility anymore. You know, and I just want to put out there, I don't think all cops are bad. I think they're doing their jobs, and it just depends on the person. Just like people, we are all different, and so we all have our own personalities. Okay, guys, so I can't say one's good or one's bad. They are their person, and that is who they are, whether they're doing a job as a police officer or serving tacos at Taco Bell. Everybody's a different person, okay, guys? So, with that said, now you kind of know what I have found on my cleaning journey, and I have processed these items many times, okay? And I think I'm at a point in my healing where I can finally get rid of these things, which is for me a big step, because that means I've healed enough to let this go and let that memory and that power attached to those items just fade away with time. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and as always, remember, you're not alone out there, and healing is messy and hard work, but it is worth it. So keep going on your guys' journeys. Thank you again. Bye.